Hey you guys, I wanted to talk about storytelling in this crowd control episode, and mainly because if you don't have a story to tell with your magic that's relevant to how it can make sense in a way, then people are just going to assume it's a trick. You're trying to perform this art that makes them convinced that you're a wizard or you are magic. Like, there's no other way to explain it than it's magic. And if you're doing a trick where it's just kind of like pick a card, okay, you got it, put it back in the deck, and then it's the six of clubs, and then you tell them what it is, or like the trick happens with really no justification of how the magic happened, then you're you're cheating yourself and you're cheating your audience. And so you have to try to come up with stories to make your tricks relevant to the matter. But before I go into little tips and things I've done to have that happen, I want to tell you about my trip to Florida from this past weekend. My buddy flew me down to do magic tricks at his Thanksgiving giving event, and I had a blast. And a lot of things went really well, and some things didn't go so well. I did tried to do earbuds, and that got screwed up. And I guess that's what I get for revealing earbuds. But that was the least of my worries, and everything else went off without a hitch. I did cookie cutter twice, where you put a razor blade in an Oreo, mix it around, and randomly start to eat the cookies until you're left with the one with the razor blade. And shockingly, it was very anticlimactic. No one really thought too much of it. I don't know why, but so it was interesting. It was one of those effects where I thought, oh, this is gonna be great. People are gonna be scared, worried that I'm gonna cut myself, and it was just kind of got a little golf clap at the end. Other than that, being in Miami, we went to the art district. And there was a lot of graffiti around, and we took cool pictures of me levitating. And because my friend who flew me down there is a video producer, and he's into photography, and so we got a lot of awesome photos down there, and at the party itself. And so I'll have those online for you guys to check out. Naturally, the best trick that was getting the most reactions was the invisible deck. And before I get into how I did that, I was doing a different variation of ways throughout the night. And this just comes back to storytelling. But I wanted to also let you guys know that you should follow me on Facebook, because I set up a Ustream account, and it's going to have a live chat. We're gonna have a live chat together in the future. Now, it just will be a sporadic thing, and the only way that you'll be able to know is if you follow me on Facebook. Because on Facebook, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm on Ustream live right now. Come hang out," and it will just be me there talking about different theories, ideas, how to interact with crowds and approach strangers, or whatever the topic may be. And you guys can on demand like send me questions or talk to me, and I'll respond like on the spot right there personally. It'll be like a little personal video phone call. It'll be cool. And so follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/disturbedreality, and you can find out when we're going to do that. It'll be really fun. Also, I've been keeping tabs with fans that I have all over the world. And like, I got Saudi Arabia, Serbia, Hungary, Nepal, Argentina, Switzerland, Belgium, Spain, the Netherlands, Bulgaria, Greece, Egypt, Croatia, Finland, Slovakia. I have a huge list. And so I would like you guys to just post a little comment that says where you're from. And it'd be really cool. Maybe I can expand on this list just through some of the comments that you guys give me, because I'm fascinated by where you guys come from and how magic is this language barrier breakdown. It's incredible. It's the only thing that you can really do to speak a different language by showing a card and changing to like another card, you know? I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, enough fooling around. Let's talk about storytelling. And the note that I wrote was, you have to make your story make your magic relevant, make sense, and not to rush things, and the payoff will be much better. For example, two-card money. So when you go into a trick like two-card money, that's a very quick, fast-paced trick. And so you should definitely come up with the whole three-card money original story and open up with that and then say, oh, I only use two cards. Let me show you what I do to the hustlers to try to win some of my money back and maybe win some of their money. And then you do it very slow, break it down, and the payoff when they turn those queens over is very much better. Another trick that I'll do is, depending where I'm at, sometimes I'll be in Detroit and I'll meet a few people, and there's a lot of homeless people in Detroit. And so I'll say sometimes homeless people ask me for a dollar bill, and what I ask them is if they have change for a dollar, because of course, as you know, a homeless person isn't going to want to give me change if I give them a dollar bill. So I say, well, what if instead of a 1, I gave you a $5 bill? And then I can see their eyes light up. They get really excited. And I say, well, what if instead of a 5, I got you a 10? And then, of course, again, well, what if I got you a 20 instead? And sure enough, that's what I could do. I could get you a 20. And then it ends with me giving them 50 cents instead, a 50-cent half-dollar piece. And that was Greed by Daniel Garcia. And so what I did when I went to Josh's, my friends in Florida, I did that same routine, except what I did instead was I said, you know, Josh wanted to fly me out here, and I felt bad because I didn't want him to pay for all that money, and I thought it was messy. We're friends, you know? So what I asked him to do instead was to send me a few dollar bills, send me like 5 $1 bills. And so then I took the dollar bill out, and I showed it to who I was explaining this story to. And I said, well, here's what I did with the dollar bill. I changed it into a 5. And then, of course, $5 isn't going to give me a flight to Florida. So what I did with that is I changed it to a 10. Still 10 not enough, but, you know, 20. Change that to a 20. And then I would go into, but then I started feeling bad, you know, cheating the government, might get caught, this and that and the other. So what I did instead was change it to half-dollar, 50-cent piece, sent it back to Josh, told, you know, I feel bad about this. So Josh ended up losing $2.50, but it's all good in the end. And so you guys have been sending me in some of your contest videos. And one that I saw today was someone riffled through, tell me when to stop. Stop. They got that card memorized. And then he just dropped it to the ground. And this was, I think his name was Zaman. And he just dropped it to the ground. Let's see here. So he said, pick card. They got it. And what he did was he just dropped it to the ground. And then he took his shoe off and had the people hold their hand out. And he turned it over, and their card was folded up inside of his shoe. Now, what you should have done a little differently, or what you may want to try for next time, is have a piece of double stick tape on a card, because I'm assuming you're using a force card that's already in your shoe, already folded up in your shoe. So, and you have a duplicate. Yeah, that's what I assume. So if you have a piece of double stick tape on the back of a card, and you have that card on top, let's say. So double stick tape here, and you tell them to pick a card. This is your force card, and you cut it back into the middle of the deck. If you pinch the deck, you can literally scroll through, and their 10 of diamonds will be missing. And you can cleanly go through the whole deck on a table, and it'll be gone. And then what you can do from there, so they're looking through their card, it's gone. What you can do from there is just take the deck and kick it. Just boot the whole deck. if you want to ruin your cards, lose your cards, or whatever you want to do, if you think it's worthwhile. So, take the cards. Big spectacle. Whoa, what'd you do that for? Then you can take your shoe off, and there cleanly is their force card. That's what I would do a little differently. With the invisible deck, what I did was, yes, I did the traditional invisible deck. Then I did one where I gave someone a real pack of cards, and I had the invisible deck, and I had us go back to back. And I was like, you think of a card, you go through, and I want you to turn that card upside down. And I'm going to do the same thing. So they did that, and I was like, all right, just think of the color right now. And try to send that my way. All right, now think of the suit. All right, now think of the actual card itself. All right, I think I got it. I'm going to go through and turn mine upside down. Without letting anyone see what card I was actually taking. I put the invisible deck back in its case. I turned around, take her deck, spread through, one card's face down, turn it over. Now you can really milk it, build up. It's like, what are the chances? This and that and the other, all that magic fun stuff. You go through your deck, there's a card face down, just like there should be, because you gave a reason and a justification for why there is a face down card. And you turn it upside down, it's their selected card that they picked as well. Something else I did with the invisible deck, just to make sure that it was like completely random, was I let someone hold onto the case, and I did the invisible deck, the actual literal sense of the invisible deck. You can give it to someone else to shuffle it. You can shuffle it more, just so you don't think it's a stacked deck or something like that. And you have someone pick a card, they got it, and you tell them the card's either red or black. Hearts and diamonds, clubs, or spades. So what color is it? It's a red card. Okay, give it to the next person. All right, well that means it's either a diamond or a heart. So what would you say it is? It's a diamond. You sure? Yeah, it's a diamond. Give it to the next person. All right, it's either a high or a low card, like 2 to 8 or 9 to ace. So is that a high card or is it a low card? It's a low card. You sure? No, it's a high card. It's a high card. Give it to the next person. So what is it? It's the 10 of diamonds. That way you have 4 different people giving you 4 different answers, and you can even go, and then you end it with, take that card, turn it upside down, put it back in the invisible deck. And then you go back to the first person, you say, now you could have said it was a black card. You could have said it was a heart. You could have said it was a low card. In fact, you did, and you changed your mind. You could have said it was any other card besides a 10. So now, without a shadow of a doubt, they're convinced that no one can really be in on this trick. Because they're all involved. And it comes back, you take it out, and sure enough, the 10 of diamonds is upside down. That's a very, powerful little way to get more people involved with the invisible deck. To make it that much more intimate. Speaking of intimate, the kiss trick. And here to there. If you have your duplicate card in there, what you'll see me do, as I did in my video with Haley, is I did the kiss trick where it doesn't work. I said, here, put your hands like this, watch, after she had kissed the card. Put it in the middle, second card. Yeah, put it in the middle, control it to the top. You don't need a duplicate for the kiss trick, but you need one for here and there. So they kiss the card, put it in the middle, control it to the top. Look, I made your card jump to the top. You do that double lift. You guys know how the kiss trick works. If you don't, you should definitely watch that tutorial. Search for it in my videos. That's not your card? Oh, well, what happened was you kissed the card. We've never met, or we haven't kissed before, so you need to give me a kiss. And what I've been doing recently is I'll be like, you have to give me a kiss. And when she comes in, you steal one from her. You just come in, mwah, and it will take her by surprise. It's really funny. And yet to get smacked from it or whatever. And so you steal one, or she actually just takes one. She gets one for herself. And you do your magic. You kiss her hands, you kiss the cards, and you make the card in her hand change to her selected card. And when she's freaking out about that, spread through your deck, find your 2 duplicates, bring them to the top really quick, and then go in, okay, now that I know how it's like, let's try this for real. I'll put your card in about middle, right? And you go into the here, then there. And so you show them their card is jump to the top. And what you can do that way is you can kiss the back of the card. Mwah, look, I made your card jump to the top. See, because I know what your kiss feels like now. So look, I'll take your card, here, hold on to it like a sandwich, just like how you were. And look, I'll take the next card, the Jack of Diamonds. And look, if I put it on your hand, kiss the card, your card's actually more attracted to me now. You reveal that switch places. And then you can say something like, I guess we know who the better kisser is. And then that will get her all blushing, this and that and the other. And it'll get a good like reaction from the surrounding crowd. So there's always a way to make a story better. That's why Chris Angel is the best. Penn and Teller are so good at storytelling as well. But Chris Angel is extremely innovative with convincing you that there's no other explanation than it's magic. And because he's a master storyteller, and you guys have to work on being a storyteller. Anyone can do magic, but this is a performance, and you have to be a showman. And when you get that compliment of, hey, because you'll come across a lot of people who will appreciate your magic, but then you come across some people that are just like, hey, you are a great showman. Not like, I used to do magic, I know some magicians, but you are an incredible performer, and I love that you're a showman. And that's a better feeling than I was impressed with that trick. You know what I mean? Because you convince someone that without a shadow of a doubt that you have a special power. And that is a much better feeling than just pulling off some sleight of hand. And so with that, this video's gone a little too long. So, like I said, easiest way to contact me is through Twitter. Since I let people know that, I've been getting more tweets every day, been able to respond to people more rapidly. And so just mention Jarek120 in a tweet if you guys have a Twitter account. If not, sign up so we can chat. And like Disturb Reality on Facebook, because we're going to have a live chat, and this will be your opportunity to like ask me a personal question on the spot. And with other people watching, I'm sure they have the same question that you do. And so it will help everyone get questions answered. Okay? So thank you for watching. Sorry if this went a bit long, but storytelling is a crucial part. And if you're a good storyteller, that's what's going to get you booked. That's what's going to give you confidence to approach strangers, not even doing magic tricks to them, but meeting new people and interacting with them. If you become a master storyteller, then you will have great stories to tell, not relating to magic, but just about your life. And if there's a funny incident that happened to you with magic, a lot of times you'll have someone come up to you and say, oh, what do you do for a living? And then you can go into a story about this one time you did this magic trick. And you can tell a story about the invisible deck. Like, that's what I do a lot, is I tell my story from the bar where I got kicked out of the club, did the invisible deck to the bouncers, and got let back in. And so now these people that I just met who are asking me about me haven't seen me do any magic, but they're so intrigued by the story that they'll naturally gravitate towards you without the use of cards. And it will just make your life a lot more fulfilling. And so practice on your storytelling skills. The only people I can't really tell a story to are my family when I do magic, and like my close friends. Usually I'll just do the effect for them. But if it's a stranger or a group of friends, then go all out and make it worthwhile. It'll be much more fulfilling, and the payoff will be much better. So thank you guys very much, and stay tuned. Follow me on Facebook, like me on Twitter. or like me on Facebook, and then follow me on Twitter, whichever works for you. And we'll have a new video this Wednesday. I'll talk to you guys soon.